Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was a busy one around here celebrating Father's Day, birthdays, all that fun, exciting stuff. And then I started out Monday morning and there was a skunk in my yard. There was also a fox in my yard. Fox can stay. I thought he was going to eat the skunk, but he did not. He avoided him. It was sad. Very sad. Sorry, my hair's a little wild. Good morning, Gabby. Good morning, Stormy. Hope you guys are well and that you all had a great weekend. It's going to be a short one today. We're going to go cover Miss, well, who we know as Miss Big Boobs. Just put it nicely. Because I don't know how else you say it. Because they're huge. We all saw them. We all saw them. She was back in court this morning, but I'm going to go back and replay what we did last week just to make sure everybody's caught up. And I also have the video that they have from her act. Obviously, we won't see that because that's awful. I thought she just had that because she was in court. She's in jail and she's not allowed a bra. But you're going to see that's just the way she walks around and they're still huge. So anyway, she is charged with unaliving a 3-year-old, and the mother, she hit them with a sharp object many times. The mother did survive. Her 3-year-old son, unfortunately, did not survive the attack. I have not watched the hearing. I did take a look at the video to make sure that it was okay. We're going to watch that first. Then we'll watch her hearing last week and then watch today's. So it's going to be pretty short. I have a trial from the Boyd Dome that I'm working on, but I want to make sure that it's okay. And I may just catch us up on some highlights and go through that today. But I you know how trials in Judge Boyd's court can be. So I want to make sure that's okay, that it's going to work out and be good. So I have this video here first. Again, it doesn't show anything, but it is, you can see what she was doing. Why nobody asked the simple question, why is this woman walking around the store with a knife in her hands? Anyone? Like, nobody cared? Is that where we are now? That whatever, she's probably just cutting up some fruit and then didn't buy it. I don't know. It didn't concern anybody? Or was it that everybody thought that somebody else would take care of it? I haven't messed with anything, so all the volume should be up. Everything's boosted. Here we go.
Tonight we have some new disturbing video. Just want to give you that heads up to share with you that sheds light on the moments before an attack that killed a 3-year-old boy and injured his mom earlier this week in North Olmsted. It shows the suspect, Bionca Ellis, at the police station before the incident. And then you see her there walking around with a knife inside Giant Eagle.
Lena Live.
You can see it in her hands as she's walking out the door. It's right there in her hand.
Has the latest, and as Christy just referenced, we want to
Just
warn you
waving.
that this video might be upsetting for some to watch.
New video shedding light on the 30 minutes before a deadly stabbing in North Olmsted Monday. The video showing Bionca Ellis walking into the police station there around 2:30 that afternoon. She's pushing her own wheelchair with a suitcase. Police say she was there in connection with her arrest the week before.
You got anything on you at all?
Ellis had a warrant for her arrest tied to a previous theft conviction. Police arrested her and then let her go. 4 days later, Ellis is seen going to the Volunteers of America thrift store, where police say she stole 2 knives, then briefly stopped in bins and things before walking into Giant Eagle. At 2:58, she walks past the service desk with the knife waving by her side, and no one appears to see it. Then we see her walking near the cash registers. Again, no one appears to see or react to the knife. She then passes Margot Wood and her 3-year-old son, Julian. Ellis immediately turns around and starts to follow them. Cameras show just before 3 p.m., Ellis walked into the lobby and follows behind the mother and son as they exit the store. Cameras then show her following them through the parking lot and to their car.
Somewhere near their vehicle, Miss Ellis then attacked the two of them.
Ellis is set to be arraigned this Monday morning. Police say the
So we saw the arraignment. I'm going to play it again real quick because she is all kinds of level trying to act all kinds of crazy. That poor kid, from what I've read, was sitting in the cart. He couldn't. There was nowhere for him to go at all. His mom, I mean, she's just minding her own business and going grocery shopping with her son. That's, yes, Gabby. No reason at all. None. So I don't, I missed that much. I must have missed that story. I don't know. I don't, sorry. I'm trying to think what that means. Yeah, just nuts. But is she as nuts as what we saw? We'll watch that again and then see her hearing because, oh, she yells it out. Okay. Sorry. I just, my mind has been focused on if that was me and my kids, what do you do? I mean, I try to be really aware of my surroundings at all the time, like at all the time, so that if somebody flipped around like that on me, I would hope that I saw it, hope that I noticed that that they did that. I don't know that that would have made any difference, Stormy. I've obviously not seen the attack. It seemed very, very quick. And I'm sure the mom was probably trying to get to her son. I don't know. I don't know if that would have made a difference or not. I don't know what Ohio's laws are to that. Like my state is a constitutional carry, so you can, unless the private business says no. So we'll watch her hearing from last week that I know we saw it, but again, I just want to make sure everything stays in the timeline because when she goes to trial, if it should be out there. Court TV or somebody should pick this up. We'll watch it. It won't. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence if she'll take a plea, if she'll plea it out, if they'll give her one. Maybe they want to take her to court because they should get everything.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ashlyn Carroll on behalf of Miss Ellis. We would
Excuse
like.
me, I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh, sure.
Miss Ellis? Miss Ellis? Miss Ellis,
Yeah,
please raise your head.
where is it coming from?
I just need to ask you a few questions. I need to make sure you understand them. Do you have an attorney?
I'm looking for one.
Okay. Do you have the money or means to hire an attorney?
Repeat that.
Do you have the money or means to hire an attorney?
Possible.
Okay. Have you received and read your indictment?
I don't know.
You don't know if you've received it?
Gosh dang it. Sorry.
Have you received it? Ma'am, just tell me whether or not you've received it, please. Ms. Ellis, we'll be out of here in a few minutes if you just answer these questions. Ms. Ellis, have you received your indictment?
What was her name?
Ms. Ellis?
What was her name? The judge, what's the judge's name?
Russo,
Russo?
that's right.
Russo with an R?
Have you received and read your indictment? Yes or no? If you haven't received it, I'm going to send it over there. So you need to tell me that. Ms. Ellis, why don't you want to answer these questions? All right, we'll come back to her when she's ready to talk to you.
Your Honor, could I just let the court know our office does represent Ms. Ellis on another case, and
I understand.
there are some mental health issues, and I do believe they
I'll
have
come
been.
back to her.
Okay, just to clarify, I do believe she hasn't been on her
I will
medication.
come back to her.
Okay.
I was just like, I don't care.
Back in
Right
the
now.
courtroom. Bionca Ellis.
Oh, I didn't remember her appearing twice right here.
Ms. Ellis? Ms. Ellis,
Thank you.
have you received the indictment?
I don't know.
What?
Would you like me to send it to you or read it out loud to you?
Thank you. Thank you.
That's not responsive. Would you like me to do either of those things? Ms. Ellis? Do you understand on the indictment that the state has reserved the right to add the death penalty? Do you understand that? Have you read that?
I don't remember that.
ASAP.
What's ASAP?
What's video court?
Your Honor, we would like to enter a not guilty plea for Ms. Ellis. We would like to waive a reading of the charges, waive any defects in time or manner of service. As I said, our office has reached out to the jail to get mental health services for Ms. Ellis. They were working with her on a previous case, and our social worker has gotten involved. So we would like to ask that counsel be appointed and that the public defender's office be one of those two attorneys, and ask for a reasonable bond.
Has she received the indictment? Have you discussed it with her?
I personally have not, but I do know attorneys from my office did go see her last week, and that there were some notable mental health issues.
Did they go with the indictment?
That I don't know.
Well, then how am I expected to arraign her?
I would like to waive that time period for her.
This could be a capital murder case. I don't think that's appropriate. So if somebody wants to go over there now and go over it with her, I'll hold it. So send somebody over there,
I'll reach out to the office.
okay? We'll come back.
Ready, Your Honor?
I'm ready.
Going back to case number 692604, Bionca Ellis.
There they are. Or just what you missed last week.
Hello, Ms. Ellis. Do you have an attorney? You do? Do you have the money or means to hire an attorney? Have you received your indictment? I don't. Okay, have you read it? You have not read it, okay? We have a copy here. You can read it. You don't want to read it. Are you willing to accept that the public defender has read it to you? I'm sorry. You asked her not to. Well, but she did read it to you, correct? No. She didn't read it to you. Okay, well, we can read it in open court. Okay. It's a 10-count indictment. Count 1 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did purposely and with prior calculation and design cause the death of JW 10/29/2020. The state of Ohio reserves the right to seek a superseding indictment containing the appropriate 2929.04A aggravating circumstances specifications. And so you understand that means the state is reserving its right to add a death penalty specification. Count 2 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, that the defendant did purposely cause the death of JW 10/29/2020. Count 3 alleges that on or about June 3rd, the defendant did cause the death of JW, date of birth 10/29/2020, as a proximate result of the offender committing or attempting to commit an offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree, to wit, felonious assault, Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.11A1, and or endangering children in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2919.22B2. Count 4 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did knowingly cause serious physical harm to JW on date of birth 10/29/2020. Count 5 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant.
I'm sorry, but her smirk. Ugh. And Tammy, I don't know why some states seem to have more things than others. I don't know. But I agree with you that it does seem to kind of happen that way. But this woman smirk, and behind her is the dad of the victim and the husband of the other victim. She, like I said, the mom did survive. Oh, yeah. That woman. We watched her sentencing, and that Ring doorbell audio is chilling to hear that poor baby crying her heart out. I don't understand. I don't understand how anybody thought that was okay. I mean, that was awful. And even the defense attorney, I mean, he had to do his job, but you could just tell he was doing his job. That was it. I mean, he was just, everybody was horrified in that courtroom. It's awful.
Defendant did torture or cruelly abuse JW, date of birth 10/29/2020, a child under 18 years of age, and furthermore, the violation resulted in serious physical harm to JW, date of birth 10/29/2020. Count 6 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did attempt to purposely cause the death of Margot Wood. Count 7 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did attempt to cause the death of Margot Wood as a proximate result of the offender committing or attempting to commit an offense of violence that is a felony of the first or second degree, to wit, felonious assault, Ohio Revised Code Section 2901.11A1. Count 8 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did knowingly cause serious physical harm to Margot Wood. Count 9 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did, knowing that an official proceeding or investigation was in progress or was about to be or likely to be instituted, alter, destroy, conceal, or remove any record, document, or thing with the purpose to impair its value or availability as evidence in such proceeding or investigation. Count 10 alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2024, the defendant did with purpose to deprive the owner, Volunteers of America store, of property or services, to wit, knives, knowingly obtain or exert control over either the property or services without the consent of the owner or the person authorized to give consent. I have now read the indictment to you. Do you wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
C.
Pardon me?
C.
What's same mean? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
I understand the victims are represented and they want to make a comment before I set bond. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I don't know, Tammy. We watched this last week, and obviously none of us are clinical psychiatrists or psychologists or anything like that, but it was just didn't seem real. They keep talking about her mental health issues, and maybe there is some there. I don't know. But I don't know if she actually has some, or she just wants them to think she has some, so she gets, I don't know, found incompetent, whatever she's going for here. You almost hope she does have some, so you can at least maybe understand it just a touch, not much. You know, but that dad, and I know there was 2 officers standing there, but him standing back there, I'm sure it was all he could do to not just go tackle her and take her to the ground and do what she did to his wife and son. I can't imagine. And he fortunately could not see her smirking, because I don't know that those 2 officers could have held him back at that point in time. All right, we'll listen to what he said and then we'll get Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Yes, Gabby. It is so sad. And that mom, whenever she gets, I don't know what all her injuries were, but the guilt she's going to feel for something that wasn't her fault at all. Awful. I can't imagine.
Good morning, sir. Could you start with your name?
My name is Jared Wood, father of deceased, husband of Margot. Your Honor, that day, 1 week ago, she took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son or anything that my wife and I, or even our other kids, are going through. It's horrendous. And I really wish no bail, period, or extend it to the max limit possible that you can, at the very least. Just do whatever you can to keep this monster behind bars.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything else you would like to say?
That'll be it. Thank
Okay.
you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I can't even let go of that podium. And he's just staring at Judge. Like, please.
Is there anything else before I pronounce bond?
Your Honor, we would just ask that you consider assigning the public defender's office, recognizing this is not our number. We did represent her at the first appearance unit. I did meet with her on Friday. We have had contact with her family and begun working on the case. Thank you, Your Honor.
When the original bond was set out of Muni Court, the bond was set at $1 million, and it was before the passing of one of the alleged victims. I do not believe that bond is appropriate given the change in circumstances and the allegations that are contained in this indictment. Bond is set at $5 million, cash, surety, or property. GPS, no contact with any surviving victim or victim's family, DNA order. Judge is Judge Russo. Pretrial is June 17th at 9 a.m. I'll assign counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You want me to sign that?
Everything about her, it just gives me the creeps. The way she saunters in and out, the way her smugness. Oh, Tammy. I am so sorry that that happened. That is awful. I cannot even say that I can understand how you feel because I don't, and that would be a complete lie for me to say that. But I am really truly sorry. That's awful. Yeah, that I hope that he or she, I'm gonna assume it's a she, with uh got the appropriate punishment because I'm really sorry that happened. That's I have literally have chills right now because that I don't I can't imagine, Tammy. I really can't. I'm sure it is. Oh my goodness. Whoops. So he got 25 years. Doesn't seem like enough, right? I mean, so I apologize. You know, you're coming up on it. Wow. Hi, Christine. How you doing? I hope you had a good weekend. All right, we're going to watch her today. I've not watched this, so I don't know how she came into court today. I don't know. Yeah, Tammy, I agree. 25 years is not enough. Not enough at all. She's so hard for me to take. I 100% agree with you, Stormy, that she will have survivor's guilt. Absolutely. She needs to get counseling for it for a long time to get her through it. She'll never be the same. She won't ever get over it. I hope the dad does not start blaming the mother. I really hope that. Oh my gosh. Wait, Tammy, so was she in jail or is she home? That's insane. My gosh. Wow. Yeah, George, that's um absolutely. They're going to have to get through the all of those stages of grief. And their anger is going to come, but they need to be that's why they're like they need counseling bad, they need therapy bad to get through it and not try to get through it by themselves. Wow. That's so crazy. Did they hear it? Did they just not know what to do? Was she able to like scream? 8 times, man. That takes some time. That's a lot. I do too, George, but I don't I wouldn't bet on it. Not with the way she's acting. Yeah, and sometimes people freeze. You know, what do you do with that kind of a weapon? That's a bad one. They didn't yeah. At least they called. At least they had the mind to do that. But Stormy, insurance is getting better about covering stuff, which is good because they used to not cover hardly like any of it. But they are getting better. I think they're finally starting to see like there is a huge need. I'm just glad he was found, Tammy. Like, because when they're never found and those people just walk around, there's people that are always scared because they're out there. And you know what, Tammy? You if anybody thinks that you should have recovered by now, that's on them. That's a major thing. And you will always be different for it. So take care of you. I don't want to say you do you, but take care of yourself. Your recovery is your own in your time. And absolutely, George. Absolutely. It is a personal journey. It's your journey, your recovery. And I'm glad you had that relationship because then when you can, when it doesn't just absolutely crush you to do so, you can look back on those memories because you have good memories and you have fond memories with your sister. You can think about those times and you can think about her and remember her in that way when she was here with you. But it's going to take you time and you know, do it on your time. You're welcome. I mean, I wish I could give you more. I wish I could fix it for you. That's what I wish. I would if I could. So yeah, good. You did. So she was yes. Those are going to be what you need to hang on to. It's all those times. All right. I'm going to play today's. I don't know what happened. So if it goes off the rails, I apologize. I don't foresee that. But you never know with this person. Stormy, you are correct. You don't move on from it. You move forward in a different fashion. And I can only speak of that to my own experiences. And that is just the loss of my mom, which wasn't in a traumatic way like that. But your life is never the same. You go forward, but there's always there is always a vacant spot there. Not that you can never be happy, not that you can never laugh, not that you can never do those things, but it is different. Your world is different. And that is hard to explain to people sometimes if they've never experienced that loss. I didn't understand it until I did. I've never been through anything like Tammy ever. But I remember when my mom's mother died, and my mom told me at that time, because both her parents were then gone, that she was an orphan. And I was like, what are you talking about? I couldn't understand it. Both my parents were here. But I understand it. I still have my dad. My dad is still here, but I understand it a little bit more now of there's just an open spot where she was. And it's different. Thank you, Tammy. Oops. I put the wrong one up. And you are correct. No one will ever fill that special spot. But thank you. Thank you for saying that. Hello, Carmen. How you doing? Are you at work? And I am sorry for that, Stormy, because I'm a half an orphan, I guess. That's a thing. You too, Tammy. Absolutely to you too. I appreciate it. But, man. All right, let's hear what this person, I don't know what to call, whatever she is. Let's see what she's going to do. Let's see if we're going to get a watch or try.
All right, so good morning. We're here on case number 692-604, State of Ohio versus Bionca Ellis. She's present in the courtroom this morning with her counsel, Mr. Mack and Mr. Johnson. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Our assistant county prosecutors, Ms. Faralia and Ms. Patel, are here on behalf of the State of Ohio. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I think all of you know that any case that gets assigned to this courtroom, we set the case for trial as well as some future dates. So I'm going to do that today. Obviously, I'd like to involve all of you so that we have a trial date certain that meets with all of your calendars. Whether that date moves or remains a date on the record or on the books will be determined on how we proceed with the case. It's a 10-count indictment. Aggravated murder is count 1. Counts 2 and 3 are charged in the alternative.
All right, now we got the rocking going on. Again, not a doctor, but feels like somebody watched too many movies. I don't know. They're going to have to give me something other than her to say that there's, never mind.
On the murder counts, counts 4, felonious assault, count 5, endangering children, and then count 6 and 7 in the alternative, the attempted murder charge, and then count 8 of felonious assault. I know the parties wanted to have some discussion with the court on the record. What I'd like to do is for Ms. Ellis, just for you to understand, I will have you in the courtroom when we are on the record. If the lawyers are just meeting independently, I will not bring you up. Your lawyers have the opportunity to meet with you in the county jail. In addition to that, the lawyers, I believe you know that occasionally the deputies with notice will allow us an opportunity to meet here, to meet your client here on the floor, meaning you need to review evidence of sorts, and it might be easier here. So those are something that can be worked out through my bailiff and the sheriff's department if it actually works with your calendars. And I think you both know that as well.
Yes, sir.
In setting this, I'll ask the state of Ohio first about discovery. what discovery is outstanding, if you can give me at least information of when you expect certain discovery, just so that I'm aware of what might be out there. I would say this, that blower above you is running continuously. It has not turned off since.
Okay,
Off
that's
for
not
a
me.
minute during trial last week. So those microphones in front of you, if you could hit the green button or the button in front, that'll turn the green on. And
Tammy, when she came into that hearing last week, we watched it. I thought she was pregnant for a second until she turned, and then I was like, "Oh my!" And then the whole rest of the chat was about boobs. The whole rest of the stream was about those because they were right there, and it was awful. I'm gonna move these up. Oh yes. Hello, Tina. How are you? They said this is a possible uh that penalty case. Have to be nice and follow the rules here. But yeah, that smirk is awful. Absolutely. 100%. Just I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And at least she's not doing it today. She's looking somber so far. But the rocking, I don't know. I don't think I'm buying it. I don't know.
and then maybe pull the microphone close to you. Even if you stand, you can put it up. But the button in front, if you can just hit it, it'll carry your voice. So let me hear from the state of Ohio.
I believe it's on, Your Honor.
Yes, if your green light's on, you're on. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
On behalf of the state of Ohio, Anna Frelia, and this morning, Your Honor, with regards to discovery, some discovery has been transferred over to the defense via the portal. We also have a bunch of surveillance cameras and other miscellaneous information that is in need of a terabyte. So I
apologize. Is this the same attorney in the whatever that woman's name was that went to Puerto Rico and left her kid? Is this her? Or am I remembering incorrectly? She looks familiar. Was she on that one case, Tammy? Tina, I agree with you. And how he kept his composure, I don't know. You know he wanted to absolutely fly up there and flatten that woman. Sierra, okay, that's her. Okay. So there wasn't a trial, you guys, but we did watch, I think you were still here, Stormy. I don't think you were on your cruise. The woman who left her, what was she, 18 months? Old daughter home in her pack and play, and went to Puerto Rico for a week, came back, and surprised the daughter was not alive. She took a plea deal, so there was no trial. But we did watch her sentencing, and they played that ring camera audio. We could hear the little girl screaming, just her heart out, because she left one bottle of milk in there with her. Obviously, she's sitting in a soiled diaper for all that time. Then she gets home. I believe she cleans her up, redresses her, calls the police, and then's like, I don't know what happened. And the horrible thing is, her parents, weren't they there? Don't they live there? Couldn't she have called them? Yes. Okay. Sierra Day, then I'm not sure. This is who I was thinking of. I'm not sure about Sierra Day then. We get, I don't, you'll have to, yeah, it's, not sure where it is, Stormy. I think it was at the end of something else we were doing. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Yes, and she had an older child. I don't I don't get that. I don't get why we have done so many trials on here of little kids, poor little kids, mostly 5 years old, getting horrible treatment, starvation, beatings, whatever, sitting on rice, healing on rice. Oh, I don't think I know that one. Did they show her trial? We've covered 2 horrible trials in Texas, and one was in Judge Boyd's courtroom, Jose Ruiz. The other was in Judge Boyd's courthouse, but not with Judge Boyd, Daniel Garcia. We're waiting for him to get sentenced in August. Also waiting for the mother to get sentenced because she lied about whether she was here legally or not. And she's not here legally, so they can't. I don't know what they're doing. I got to write that name down. But then there's usually a child or children that are just fine. They don't do anything to them. They just let them live a quote unquote normal life. And I don't understand how you pick out one. I don't get it. I'm going to find that, Tammy. We need to watch it. But I don't understand that. How, as a parent, you can just be like, I don't. Mercedes, LaSoya's mom, admitted, I didn't like her. Her sister was my favorite. Sister, pretty normal life. Mercedes, crap beat out of her. Had to kneel on rice. Had to hold her arms out with, I don't remember, I think she had books with Jose Ruiz sticking thumbtacks in her feet. And then, I'm going to censor myself. I'm just going to say he, because I almost called him just not a really bad name, but I haven't been on long enough to say it. Takes pictures of her while she's not dressed. Gross. You're even worse than I thought, and you were pretty bad. I don't know. That trial was so hard to watch. We could hear, they played video for the jurors. Obviously, we could not see it, which was fine because we had to hear it. And you could hear her crying. It was awful. And then the prosecutor's closing was amazing, but it stuck with me forever about what Jose did to her and how he posed her, and he's just disgusting. And there was also another trial in Texas of another little boy. They didn't show it though, and I'm kind of glad they didn't because I watched the video of him. He's in the backseat of his mom and dad's car, or his stepmom. She was a stepmom, and not anything's wrong with being a stepmom. I didn't mean to say it like that. Starving, begging, crying, and they're showing. She's just taking video of him crying for a piece of bread, and she brings the camera back around and just looks annoyed. And he passed away that day. I don't understand these people. I really, truly don't. That's bad enough for moms. I'm right. I gotta write these people down. Is that Jordan one, Tammy? Is that in Ohio also? Was he did his mom and boyfriend plead? Was he 5? I may be thinking of a different Jordan. Sorry that I have so many to think about. People are awful. People. All right, I'll play this. Yeah, it's just something's wrong everywhere right now, Tammy. I don't know what it is. Like something. Was that the one I'm thinking of that was in Ohio? He was 5, basically was beat to death, and they buried him in the backyard under a dead dog. I don't know I don't know if that's the same one. Yes. Okay, that is the same one. They pled, so there was no trial for them. But then, social worker goes to jail because she's Larissa is selling her food stamps. So she's buying her own food with the food stamps. And then they go to trial against the Catholic organization. I don't remember what it was called, that uh the the person, which no, then I'm confused, right? I don't know. The one I saw, he was 5. They unalive the kid, put him in the back, put him in a trash bag with a sock in his mouth in the backyard, dig up a dead dog, put him under the dead dog. They both took plea deals, so they didn't go to trial. Then there was like some volunteer organization that the woman was coming to check on Jordan and but was buying her food stamps, and then they wanted to take that Catholic organization to trial and try to I guess hold them responsible. I saw one day of it on an Ohio news station, and as soon as they took their first break, they quit covering it and never covered it again. So I don't know what happened in it. But it was weird because they were so excited that they were going to allow cameras in the courtroom, and then they were just like, "Yeah, we're out." Because I thought this will be really interesting. It's not because, uh, and this is not, they were not CPS, and I understand that, but CPS is never held accountable for these things that happen. And I know this case is completely different. And she didn't, I know it's completely different. And I got off on a tangent. I apologize. Okay, I promise. I will play this through now. My apologies. But man, I'm sorry. I get started on these kids and I just can't stand it. I can't stand it. It makes me so angry and sad. Ah, yeah. Just yes. That whole thing was bad. But I don't know why they didn't cover that would have been such an interesting child to watch, because you're not watching about the death of the little boy. You're watching who dropped the ball. Well, it wasn't the volunteer because she didn't have any, from what I understood, she could not go in and demand to see a child. She couldn't demand to see Jordan. But they were trying to blame her. The people that could demand to see Jordan didn't. The police, who were like, well, we need the phone number of his father, who you say he's at his house in Texas. We need his number. And she's like, I don't know. And then they were like, okay. No, I don't understand that. All the people that failed him was not that volunteer. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Wish I did. Maybe. I maybe not want to know. Yeah. They just don't stand a chance. They just don't stand a chance. And that's a hard job. I have been an assistant in that kind of classroom myself. And it's difficult to hear some of these stories that these kids go through. It's awful. All right. I promise I won't stop this now. Maybe.
Indicated to the defense attorneys that they're going to need to provide to me an external hard drive. I also have been in contact with the medical examiner's office, and they indicated that I should probably have an autopsy report within the next 3 to 4 weeks with regards to the the autopsy report of Julian. So other than that, Your Honor, the state of Ohio is progressing with discovery and turning things over. So we'll continue to do that as they become available to me.
Okay, thank you. Counsel, have you been able to receive the discovery that's been sent? And I'm assuming we'll provide a terabyte for that external hard drive information.
Judge Fernando Mack, on behalf of Mr. Ellis, we have received limited discovery, and it's correct with Ms. Fry has indicated that we're still waiting for those other important items.
Very good. So I'm looking at the calendar, and at least initially, I'd like to set it for a trial. I think we said December 9th is a Monday.
Wow.
And 6 months out approximately, which is within the guidelines for the Supreme Court. Of course, those guidelines can be moved. But I think now, at least setting the date, everybody has a date on their calendar. Is that a date, at least looking on your calendars, is available to all the parties? Is that a Monday, Kathleen?
Yes, it is.
We seem to be the one, Judge, that
Yes.
may not work out for my schedule.
Okay.
But there are also some other reasons that may toll the necessity of going to trial quickly in this case.
Okay. And again, I'm not looking to move quickly. I'm just looking to have the date. So why don't we put the 9th down tentatively? And if you want to speak further on some of the thoughts regarding Ms. Ellis, I can hear from counsel. Why don't we put the 9th down as our trial date? Monday, December 9th. We'll go back to November for a final pretrial.
November 7th.
And then November 7th would be a final pretrial.
What is she doing?
Of course, I'll allow you to continue to make pretrials regarding just the attorneys. If there is a need to go on the record, I'll make sure that I have Ms. Ellis up. Anything further from the state?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Anything further from counsel on behalf of Ms. Ellis?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, very good. Let me note just one thing that I wanted to note. So before the case was indicted and assigned to the court, a staff member of mine noted that they had attended the wake of the decedent in this case. I indicated to that staff member if they could explain to me how they found themselves at the wake, and if there's some concerns the court should at least put on the record. And so I am going to put it on the record. Staff indicated that their partner had, if I'm correct, grown up with the decedent's father while they were youth, and maybe played basketball, like maybe CYO basketball and things of that sort. My staff indicated they had no interaction with the decedent's parents, including the named victim and the counts that are before me as well, and had never met any of the parties regarding the family. Staff did tell me they went, and that was the first time that they met the parents, was at the wake. So that brief moment. They also told me that they donated to the GoFundMe that somehow might be out there. And so I want to note that I have, when I became aware of that, well, I became aware of that before the case was even assigned to me. And so then I felt it at least compelling. I don't know any of the parties, nor have I had any contact with the parties, and nor have I had any discussions with my staff regarding that. But I thought I'd put it on the record. I don't believe there's any conflict. I don't feel conflicted at all. And so I place that on the record for you to take into consideration if you believe that you think there's a conflict with the court. I don't see one, just because I don't know any of the parties. But if you want to take that to your staff or your superiors and have conversations, you can let me know, or if you want to speak to it now.
Your Honor, on behalf of the state, we have no objection. In the efforts of being transparent, the members of the Wood family are related to a member of a staff member in the prosecutor's office as well, and that person will have no contact or anything with regards to this case. So with regards to that, we like to put that on the record as well and let the defense know that.
Very good.
Thank you.
And Mr. Johnson and Mr. Mack, I don't know if there was a concern, or you just take it under advisement, and you can let the court know if there's any concerns that you have, whether we're on the record next time or through motion, or if you want to speak to it now.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. All right, very good. All right, I'll allow you to pick a future date with my bailiff, and I'll have that date just between the parties. I'll continue to ask that you update the court on when the autopsy report is provided to the state, just to make sure the external hard drive has been submitted as well. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Very good.
Thank you,
All right,
Judge.
we'll adjourn. Thanks.
I'm sorry. I've never seen anybody's boobs sit on their lap. Sorry. I gotta find something in there. I gotta find something. All right. That is all I have for today. Thank you guys, everyone, for being here. Yes, George. I mean, come on. So I will be here, but the next couple of weeks, we may have a granddaughter showing up. Stormy, your first date is tomorrow that you chose. So she's dropped. I can tell you she's dropped, but she's still pretty active. So, I don't know. George, your date is coming up Friday, your first one. Mine's 26, so that's when I just have said it should be. Thank you, George. Thank you, Tammy. I'm glad you were here. Glad we got to chat a little bit. Really am. Oh, I'm super excited. First grandbaby. It's going to be a granddaughter. And we are very, very excited. Carmen right here will be the aunt. That's my daughter. Oh, Carmen, I forgot you're not at work today. Not yet. But yep, my daughter-in-law said she was done being pregnant. I'm like, that's how you know you're at the end, because you've never said that this whole time. She's like, I'm over it. I'm done. I'm done. So, but yeah, so we're all excited. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I plan to be back here Wednesday. I'm going to check out this. I may check out this person, these people that Tammy said. So there was a trial in Judge Boyd's courtroom last week. So I'm going to check that out and see what that is and check these other names out. So I'm not sure what we're going to be doing Wednesday, but we will be doing something. And we will have fun while we do it, no matter how horrible it is. We'll be horrible and serious when we need to be, but you guys are always just good to make me smile. So I appreciate it. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you guys all Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. And I don't know, we'll do something. So I'll see you later.